Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. My name is Shequita here on Beauty and the Queen on Queen TV, where over here our focus is beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. So if that's content that interests you, you may want to consider subscribing and clicking the bell to be notified each and every time I upload. And on today's video, per the title, we will be doing a basic makeup tutorial, a makeup look that can go for any occasion. If I have failed to mention any products in this video, feel free to check out the description box below, where I most certainly will list all of the products that I use in today's video. And if you haven't already, make sure you're following me on TikTok and Instagram. So let's get started. I'm going to use this L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Primer. I'm sorry, it is like very bright where I am. I hope you guys can see it. It looks just like this. Now, I will go to say for the record, I do enjoy the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop a whole lot better than this one. I would say this one is in comparison with the Fenty Pro Matte Filter Primer. And let me know if you feel the same. If you feel like it's similar or you like, nah sis, Fenty is where it's at. So before I put this on, I am going to moisturize my face. And to do that, I am going to use the Natrium niacinamide gel cream. There we go. And I really do like this because it is really good at hydrating the skin. For one, when you're doing your makeup, you're doing it on a clean base. And then second of all, after you make sure that you're applying makeup to a clean base, you want to make sure that you are moisturizing your actual skin. If you are a person who likes matte primers, and again, the matte primers are just going to eliminate any shine from your face to allow your makeup to last longer throughout the day. So because if you're anything like me, that oil in your face will break down your makeup, and you don't want that. And then we're going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Primer and just prime the places where we get most oiliest, which are those areas right there. While I'm making sure that those areas are mattified is because I am going to be using a hydrating foundation. So I want to make sure that these areas are at bay and matted, so that it won't mix with the hydration. Like I said, if you don't deal with oily skin at all, then you can just really use anything hydrating for your face, like your regular moisturizers. I like to go in with like a pressed powder, which is the Charlotte Tilbury, what is it called? I forgot, but I'll list it in the description box below. And it's like a matte powder. I'm going to pat in those areas just to ensure that, for one, that primer is staying, and two, to make sure that those areas are in fact matted. So while that is sitting and getting mattified, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows. I will tell you that I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Ebony, which looks like this. I'm just going to use this Anastasia Beverly Hills number 12 brush. I really do enjoy this brush because on one side is a slanted brush head, and then the other side is just a spoolie.
Why
Okay, so after I've done that, I am going to go in with some concealer. And the concealer of choice that I'm going to use for today is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer in the shade 20. And I'm going to take this flat brush. It's really like a painter's brush that I use. I like how thin it is and short and kind of stiff it is to make it easy. And I just put a little bit on both. Then just to make sure that it is nice and even, I go on both sides to kind of make sure that it has the same amount on both sides.
I do. I hit you in a lane, can you fit me in your plans? I like you, I do. We went over to France and we woke up in Japan. I like you, I do. Oh girl, I know you only like it fancy, so I pull up in that Maybach candy. Yeah, your boyfriend, I never understand me, cause I'm about to pull this girl like a hand. Let's take a little dip, little lady. Hit PCH. Yeah, I've been thinking lately that I need someone to save me. Now that I'm famous,
then I'll go all the way to the ends of the brow just to make sure that it matches. I'm going to go in and clean the top, and for the top I like to use my foundation, since you know most people put foundation up at the top of on their forehead anyway. Then I like to hold the brush flat and then go across with a stiff hand, holding the brush kind of in the middle towards the end, and then just make sure that it is sharp. Blend the bottom. It says crease blender, but I like to use it sometimes to clean up that concealer under the brow. And then for the top, I just like to go in with my beauty sponge and just kind of tap and spread. And I like to take the rest and swipe down here. What I'm going to do is set that concealer underneath my eyebrows. And for that, I'm going to use the Sephora Micro Smooth powder in the shade 75 Hazelnut. It don't really have a color. It's just basically going to set whatever color you already put on cream wise. It does have a little color, but not a lot. I'm going to be using the Juvia's Place Bronze, Dark Bronze palette, which looks like this. And I am first going to go into this shade right here, and then this shade. So for that first shade I just showed, I just like to pat. I like to pat first and then start sweeping or blending. And then I like to bring it in the beginning of that brow, and you'll see it'll all come together. And once you feel like you've put enough, then you can proceed to blend. I like to go out a little bit just to kind of like elongate the eye. Then I'm going to go into that darker shade in that palette, and then I want to go like right up under it, just like that. Forgot to pat first, just like that, and then proceed to blend. And I'm lightly blending. I'm not blending with a heavy hand. And again, we want to elongate that eye. It still looks like really natural. Then I'm going to go into a darker bronzer, and I'm going to use the Morphe glamabronze in the shade Prodigy, which looks like this. And this is a much deeper bronzer. And I'm going to take that, swirl into that product, and then this is just going to go on the actual eyelid. just like that. And you can pack it on. And then blend upward into those other 2 shades. Yeah, but I went ahead and did the other eye, and then I did my liner. I'm not really crazy about liner because I'm not that good at it on myself. This is like the easiest way that I have found to put on lashes. So I'm going to use the Envy Super Strong Hold Eyelash Adhesive, and this is in the shade Clear. Is I like to take it and like go along where my lashes is. Just like that, which is why I like the ones that have a brush to it, because it makes it easy for you to apply it as close to your lashes as possible. And while it's drying down, what I like to do is take my mascara, and today I'm going to use the Maybelline New York, the Colossal Big Shot mascara, which looks like this. And we're going to use this for mascara today. So after you see that the white is either gone or little to no white, then I go and I take a pair of tweezers. These are my favorite to apply lashes because I like that curve here, and it just helps you to get right on that lash line like I want to. And I'm going to use these lashes. I don't remember where I got them from. I done reused them over and over. But they look like this. And I like how they're like short and long some places, because it just gives that nice flirty look. Put it on like that. And then I'm going to get my mirror. And I like to look down when I do it to ensure that I'm getting as close to that lash line as possible. That much lash there to really hold the false lash in place. So, you know, you can cut yours to the desired length. And what I'm just doing is I'm taking the tweezers and I'm kind of bending them upward to make sure that they're as close to my lash line as possible. And then I go and I clamp them together with my false. If you really want to make sure they're uniform, what I like to do is take a eyelash curler that looks like this, and then do this eye too. Just like that, and then it just looks like you got on eyelash extensions or something. Okay, you guys, so for the face, I am going to go ahead and start applying the Fenty Beauty. This is the Pro Filter Hydrating Long Wear Foundation, and I am in the shade 450. And then I'm going to take my beauty sponge. This one is the e.l.f. I think it's the e.l.f. blending sponge. And I like to focus it on the center and then blend outward. Actually, before I go on with concealer, I'm going to go in with the Black Radiance Color Perfect Foundation Stick in the shade Cocoa Bean. And I like to start with a darker color first, and then a lighter color. I just like the way that looks. And then I like to go in with the lighter color, which is the same Anastasia Beverly Hills Magic Touch Concealer. And then I like to go on top and then put that kind of upward.
Let me know when you're free, cause I've been trying to hit it out weak, babe. Why you working on sleep?
And then if you feel like it's too much and you don't want to put more on this eye, go back in with that towel, kind of wipe off the extra, and then proceed to blend on this eye. Just like that. And then Sometimes I like to go back to the end of my sponge where I used to blend out that foundation, and then just go back over a little bit just to make sure everything is blended. Keep the concealer right in between the eyes, and that's it. Next, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Putty Blush. I think I'm just going to use this sponge, go into it a little bit. And then since this is a cream, we're just going to do it right while we're in the cream section. And I like it because it's like soft, but once you put the powders, you're still going to be able to see it. And then next, what I'm going to use a contour, which is the Makeup Revolution foundation stick in the shade F18. And we're just going to contour right here, and it just gives some depth and some shadow to our makeup. This part is optional, as for everything that I do. You don't have to. It's only if you want to, sis. Only if you want to. And I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to blend upward, because you don't want to blend downward, because then your face kind of looks droopy. I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna first set with this Sephora microsmoothe first. And I'm gonna use my powder puff to do so. And down the bridge of the nose, mainly where we put those concealers at. You can even set it with like a foundation powder. I've done that as well. Then I'm going to set with a loose powder, which is the Laura translucent Laura Mercier translucent powder in the shade medium deep. There we go. And I'm going to take like a fluffy brush. This is like a setting brush. And then I'm going to set and keep this on for a little bit. And this is just ensuring that under these eyes don't crease at all. It's kind of like your insurance. And then that tip of the nose. And then I like to set a little bit across the eyes, because then it helps give that blended effect on the eyebrows and on top of that lip. Just like that. And while that's sitting and settling and looking real good, I'm going to go ahead and use my bronzer by Morphe. And I am going to just go where I put that contour. And I'm going to go back into that pressed powder with a brush. And then I'm just going to go over everything, just to make sure if there's any other areas that was not set, we now are setting those areas. And then sweeping away any extra powder that was left under. Okay, you guys, so this is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it somewhat helpful. If so, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions or have any other video requests. And until next time, I will see you on the next video. Also, the lip, don't forget to, if you want to find out what I used and how I accomplished this ombre lip, then make sure that you're following me on TikTok and Instagram. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye. It's like